Hey guys, this is part 2 of the compressing and whatnot tutorial, the basics to it, and this kind of ties in with my mastering chain stuff because this is the track I did for the mastering chain teaser. It has the bus compression, saturation, and the final limiting as well as an Edison just to record the audio, which I will do now. So, compressors and how to use them properly. This one. I have the glue here on the drum bus like I had in the previous tutorial, but I'll just solo it. It's just to smash it and give it more punch in. There's a lot of different ways you can use a compressor, and in this case I'm using it to compress the drum bus because every one of these I think has a compressor on it. Yep. Including the hats. I really went all out. This is a track I made, kind of a proof of concept of why you should use compressors on everything, be it subtle or to smash the shit out of it. So I guess I'll start with a kick here, and I don't know what the name of this video should be, but focuses on drums. So I think in Ableton, if you want to play on the track, just click on the track and press the record button thing, which turns red. It's under the solo. You'll notice that as soon as I solo this, it sounds pretty dark. It's a thick kick. Also, I think I have some reverb on it somewhere, but you know. Also, I did some audio routing to get the MIDI input here as long as the kick out from battery 4, and then I sent the audio tracks to different channels here, so that was fun to learn. To compress the kick, I'm using Supercharger GT. It's a Native Instruments thing. It's not modeled after anything, but it's analog, and it's just great. It's a warm, saturated, snappy, or gentle compressor, and I like using it on kicks. I got it by totally legit means a few weeks ago, and I used it once on a track and I was like, damn, this is pretty good. It's just not as conventional as I like it, like the compressed knob there. It's kind of like, reminds me of a VC2A, as in like, it's kind of like just one knob to do it instead of the threshold or anything, or ratio. It's all one there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the previous tutorial will teach you. And then I have an equalizer to equalize some of those harsh lows out. So kind of I'll do a complete mastering deal and how to mix stuff right someday, because it will take some time, a few parts, but mixing and mastering properly starts with the tracks themselves individually, and EQing and mixing those instruments just to so they not only do they mix, but they sound good together. So it's a more of a conceptual, hypothetical thing. They sound better above anything else, like to your ears. So it's choking on some nuts. That's nasty. And that's that. It's the kick. Usually, when you're thinking of EQing stuff, you need to have an image of what you want the sound to be like. For kicks, I want it to be not rumbly, but punchy, and I want to cut some of that low end. So I think punch and snap, two of the same thing, and this delivers that, adds warmth too. And for the snare, I'll just click the red record button. Check I am recording, which I am. Edison's doing a-okay. Yep. Oh, snare. What key did I put it on? Oh, there we go. It's another snare. I routed it. Oh. There we go. That's better. Forgot it's a different key level. For snares, I like to have a lot of snaps, so I use a VC76 just for that. I'm not going to talk about the settings here, but general idea: long attack or short attack, whatever it is, on your compressor, and a short release, so it doesn't reset before the next time it's hit. That's pretty much it. EQ, of course, and it's a different one. Ignite amps. I EQ'd the hats, which I think is totally unnecessary, but I did it anyways. And what key is that on? It's probably a flat. There it is. Bam. It's pretty much totally unnecessary, but it does add a bit of character to it with densities, kind of darkening. I use a bunch of different compressors for different things. Like, there's usually no two are alike except for VC76 emulations, or no, not VC, 1176. So keep that in mind. And then after you've compressed and EQ'd all of them to taste, it's good to flatten it out and kind of mix it with a compressor. Before you can hear, it really makes it sound thick and glued, and that's why it is called the glue, because it glues stuff. And the rule with bus compressors, which this is called because it's on the drum bus, you don't want to go too crazy. Like, keep it transparent, like I said before, but give it some snap too, just so it has that extra character. Also trims a little bit of the low end, so that's neat. I guess I'll talk about some other of these instruments. So, gentle piano. I have another project that I have a chord thing, but I like the compressed pianos just a little because they are a relatively gentle instrument with and they're actual instruments, so they have a sound signature that can't really be recreated without using an envelope. So it's good to compress them like they have. There you go. Very smooth, that's what I meant. I'm using an optical tube compressor, the CL3A, which is a classic thing from Waves. You can use a 2A or whatever, an optical tube or whatever you want. Just gentle, very subtle, just to smash it, not smash it, but smooth out the peaks. Be gentle with it though. And then of course EQ it. Yeah, this song was an attempt at mastering stuff or mixing, and it is recording. I'll just keep you down there. Bam. Guitar, did some guitar rig stuff and used a compressor. Of course, a solid bus comp. What does the guitar sound like? Oh yeah, that. Because I use the compressor here to smash the transients of the initial onset of the guitar to smooth it out. Yeah, solid bus comp by Native Instruments, also quite good. Did I use anything on the strings? Oh, I did. I used a guitar rig though for it wasn't strings, it's actually guitar. Yeah, I drove the crap out of it. Compressed it just because I could. Good stuff. I didn't and I don't like to compress ambient stuff unless they have percussive onset, because they're just ambient, they should be smooth. What is this one? It's the whistly thingy. It's a preset, and I don't like using presets with analog synths. Better solo it and it's already pretty gentle enough and it has a smooth attack, so. Did I sidechain this track? Oh no, I didn't. So that is that. That's how you should use compressors. Drums should be #1 priority for smashing. Piano should be gentle. Guitars should be gentle as well. Stuff up in your face, usually you want to be gentle too because they'll be played loud already, but you want to smash the peaks, of course, which is the true purpose of compression. But that's that. And again on the master, I'll just unsolo. Bus compression. Always need it to smooth everything out. Just makes it sound fatter too. I use a saturator. I think I'll go into a brief knock-up of what I use here. I use a saturator to color the sound. Bring out the nuances and everything. And add more stereo separation. And then I kind of went all out with this, and I did it wrong because I rushed it in like 10 minutes, which you should spend more time on using like a mastering limiter like this. Also look at that CPU usage. Sweet. This thing, I kind of smashed the shit out of the song though, but it is loud. It is distorted, and I used it as a limiter. And the limiter is basically a compressor with a really long release, and yeah. And it's brick walling the audio. So instead of having a compression curve where after a certain amount it'll compress based on the ratio, it's like negative infinity. The ratio is infinity to 1, that's it. So, you know, like anything above -6, I said it right this time, -6.71 is instantly brought down based on the release, so yes. And this is basically a compressor in disguise. Again, it's just a hard limiter, a brick wall if you would. And a good mastering plugin. I like the Brainworks stuff, it's pretty good. I don't know if they have any I think they do. Brainworks, no, I guess not. Well, that is pretty much how to do it right. EQ everything, compress it gently, and that is a knock upon Compressors Part 2.